Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namaste. I am very happy to see all of you here. This is my first time that I am giving a lecture to some of the hearing people and deaf people at the same time, at the same session. I hope that if this goes on well, then we will have more sessions in future. So I want to tell you a little bit about how I came in touch with Bhagavad Gita. I was born in Bombay. When I was little sick. After I became sick, I became deaf. My brother,
Anandev's eldest brother, I'm elder to him by 8 years old. So now about a short history about him. When he was born, he was absolutely a normal child. Hearing, he had the hearing, everything was normal. Then about age of 1 year old, he had some illness which affected the brain. You know that lining of the known as meningitis, tuberculous meningitis. So that time I was about 9 years old. My father, who's a doctor, took him to a child specialist, and he diagnosed as having TB in the brain. So he was treated, he was given injections. After the course of injections, he became all right. But then one of the effect of that injection was it damaged his ear nerves. Ear nerves were damaged. So then we came to know, after he became all right, that he could hear. So my father took him to many ENT specialists to find out why he has become deaf and what is the remedy for it. So they said what the opinion given was that the nerve of the hearing has been damaged. And the damage could not be reversed. So we tried putting him, now he couldn't attend normal school. So we were looking out we were looking out for some school for the deaf. But then there was no school nearby. There was one school where he was admitted, but that was for mentally handicapped children. So that school was not right for him. Then after a lot of search, we came to know that there was a school in Chowpatty, especially for deaf children, and the principal of the school, Mrs. Disa, was a very well-trained teacher from abroad. And there he really was developed. The teacher was very good. His education was very good. The teacher's daughter was the ENT specialist, Sandra Disa. She also used to take care of the deaf children. So the distance from our house, we stay in Matunga, the Chowpat is quite some distance. So we used to, my father, myself, and my brother used to take turns to drop him to school and get him back. Later on, a classmate of his by name of Hitesh Shah was staying near Portuguese Church, Dadar. His father used to pick him up. So my brother was brought by him and used to go to Dadar to pick him up home. So in this school, he had a very good education. He passed SSC, and then he went to college, did BA. He was the first deaf student of Bombay University to complete BA. So he was very intelligent. And that's how his life began. This is my input for my brother in the initial stages of his life. Anup, you would like to add after that?
Thank you very much to my brother, Sri Arun Rao. Now, when I was younger, let me just show you a picture of my father. So this is my parents, my father and my mother. My brother, I have 6 brothers, so let's see. Another photo. So this is my siblings, the first, second, and I'm the fourth. I'm the fourth one. So these are my siblings. And let's have the PowerPoint, please. Okay. So So I thank all of the deaf people for supporting me in my quest for the Bhagavad Gita. So my parents and all my siblings have been very supportive. So at the beginning, I always used to wonder who I am. why I have a deaf person and how come my siblings can hear and why I cannot hear. And I also see that well-educated people are always fighting with each other. And there's a lot of suffering, a lot of happiness. There are a lot of questions in my mind. We have very rich people and we have very poor people. So I was influenced by the teachings of Buddha. There's another famous book called Amachitrakatha. So this one, when I was reading, I read a lot of Amachitrakatha. I used to read a lot when I was younger, and I learned many things. I had a lot of positive influence from this book about Krishna and all that, but I've never understood the meaning clearly. So when my father used to conduct puja on the idol, so I saw a small Bhagavad Gita book over there, and he used to have there during the prayers. He used to offer floral offerings and all that, and they respected the Bhagavad Gita a lot. But it was in Sanskrit, so I couldn't understand the meaning. So I used to see that there was stories of Krishna and Arjun, and I really got interested, and I really wanted to learn about it. But I always remembered those stories. And when I was growing up, after I completed my schooling, SSC schooling, but I did not pass in the Hindi exam, I was very sad. I used to go to a yoga class, and I had a classmate over there. His name was Ramesh. So right now he is in the United States of America. So he advised me to take some yoga classes. And I found a class very close to my house. So I went to it to my second brother Anu, and we went to the yoga class, and they agreed to admit me. But there was a lot of communication issues because I used to use sign language, and the yoga teacher could not communicate with me. We really love each other, and he used to teach me all the exercises, but I could not communicate much, most of gesturing. So I could not understand what he wanted to say. So he gave me a book, a yoga book, and he told me to go home and read it. But my English language skills were very minimal at that point of time. So can we have a photo, a black and white photo? So he is Swami Shivananda. He lived in Rishikesh. He used to live in Rishikesh in the Himalayas. So I read about him, about his book, and that really changed my life. So I stopped eating onions and garlic, and I stopped eating egg. I stopped eating a lot of things, in fact, after that. So I really am grateful to Swami Shivananda's book. So about Bhagavad Gita, I didn't learn much, very little knowledge. So I used to go to the temple a lot. So my mother, she actually asked me to go to a nearby temple. So I used to visit that temple a lot, and I saw all the deities. So there was Lord Shiva, So there it said Om Namah Shivaya. So I used to chant that Om Namah Shivaya all the time. And some of my friends, even my friend circle became very less, and I used to focus more on going to the temple. So let's have a video, please. This is the temple where I go. This is the Shivan temple, and we have Lord Shiva and other deities over here. So I come to this temple. Hare Krishna. This is Lord Pandurang, I think. Issues with the video. So that is the Lord Shiva temple, which I used to visit and pray a lot. I used to offer my prayers to Lord Shiva. I used to not pray about, I never asked about wealth and money and about good work. I always used to ask to the God and to all the deities. There's so many deities over there. So I was really confused. And the main deity over there was Lord Shiva. And I always asked for the blessings of all. So with the blessings of all these deities, I was introduced to Lord Krishna. And slowly I found the path to Lord Krishna. So some of my brother's college mates, one of his college mates was, his name was Chandrasekhar. So he used to take me to that place, and he used to teach me a little bit of Bhagavad Gita, and I used to learn a little bit. He tried to explain the slokas by writing, and I learned a little slowly and about Bhagavad Gita and about the teachings. But I really wanted to learn really in depth about Bhagavad Gita. I was there, I was with him, with Chandrasekhar, for a couple of months. So I thank him for offering me a little better knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita. Later, I used to look for my second brother, Anup. He had a book. He gifted me a book, and through that book,
Who's talking?
Prabhu Pada. Okay, yeah, he was the founder of ISKCON. Yeah. Okay, so this is the book. Initially, I had a lot of questions in my mind about the different issues in the world. And then I later found out about karma through this book. So I later found that the soul is not deaf, it's only the body which is deaf. So this understanding I found from the Bhagavad Gita. The suffering and everything, what are the answers? All these kind of answers I found through this book. So now I know who I am. So I stay at home, and for example, we have a cupboard. and we have some gold ornaments in the cupboard, and we have it in a safe for a very, very long time. And if you don't open the cupboard for a very long time, we need a new cupboard. But we take the gold ornaments from the cupboard and place it in the new one. So it's a similar concept. So we have the soul, which just transfers to another body. So in the next life, it will be a different body. And how to get back to Lord Krishna? I remember I told you about the small Bhagavad Gita book, which my father had in his prayer room. So from there, it influenced me and I started reading it. Probably that was the one which influenced me. And later on, I tried a lot to understand. And one of my sister, Namita, she helped me with the English language. So there's this word called have to. I never understood what is the meaning of have to. So my sister Namita, so when she enunciated have to with her mouth, then I understood how to say that word. So that's how I learned slowly. So I found an employment. My brother Anup, he helped me find some employment. And I worked at a library. So I was a librarian come trainer. So I worked there for a year. So I also used to go to the temple. The temple used to give me a peace of mind. So at the office, there were a lot of negative things, a lot of protest happening. But at the temple, it's really peaceful. So when I compared these two situations, inside me, I really wanted, in my future, really wanted, like I had, initially I had plans for the future. So I wanted to become a politician or a social worker. So that was my aim for the future. So later on, I become a devotee. So that wasn't my plan actually, but later on, this is how I shifted my focus. So in the Bhagavad Gita, it explains about the duty. I never understood what is the meaning of duty initially. What is the actual meaning of duty? So there are four things, in fact. Birth. Second is diseases and sickness. The third thing is old age. The fourth is death. So these four things, so these always happen in life and we cannot, escape from these stages. So even if we are reincarnated and if we have another body in the next life, we still have to go through these four stages. So when you devote your soul to Krishna, Lord Krishna, because in heaven we don't have these four stages, only on earth. So these things I learned from the Bhagavad Gita. And about the soul, so I'm not the body, but rather than the soul. So I learned all those teachings from the Bhagavad Gita. and about deafness and about blindness and about physical disabilities. It's all the body, it's not the soul, in fact. So all these kind of teachings I learned. So initially, I always used to be negative about other people. So when I was really negative with other people, I never got anything positive. So the goodness, passion, and ignorance. So all these things people have. So there is goodness, and there is passion, which something which really interests you. So that is passion. And then we have ignorance. So these three are influenced in a person. So if a person has these three, then he will be able to help. So when I learned this, so I stopped, saying negative things about people. So all this kind of teachings I learned from the Bhagavad Gita. And about the food, about good and clean food. So even about food, there were a lot of explanations in the Bhagavad Gita. And about Lord Krishna, when you focus on Lord Krishna, you really feel very good. So when you pray to the lotus feet, so all the negative influences from the surroundings will all vanish. So all the negative influences are temporary, which you can convert into a positive energy when you focus on the Lord. About duty, which I was mentioning about before. For example, what is the duty of a boy? A young boy, his duty is to go to school. So when he grows a little older, then he has to go to college. And when he gets married, he has a separate duty to look after his children. And during his old age, his duty is to learn about. After 60 years of age, he needs to be more spiritual. His duty is to become more spiritual and be free from birth and death, from the birth and death cycle, and how to break the birth and death cycle. So when you go to office, you have a separate duty. So inborn duty over there. So each one has their own perception of what their duty is. But the most important thing is people have to be aware of the duty they have. So you can chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare with using the beads. So when you chant that, the vibrations enter your body, and after death, your soul has a very peaceful and smooth transition. So you can chant Hare Krishna or Om Namah Shivaya also. So, but this chant, you have to do it religiously and also do yoga. So you should not neglect your duty or forget to do your duty. You must always remember. So this is said in the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. So my responsibility and my duty is to teach mainly the deaf people, since I have sign language, and I also enjoy teaching the Bhagavad Gita a lot. I haven't stopped. I've been teaching the Bhagavad Gita for the past 40 years. Bhagavad Gita is actually very easy, but it's the mind that makes it difficult. So if you train your mind to understand the Bhagavad Gita, if you can train yourself, then you can easily understand the Bhagavad Gita. So I offer my respects to Lord Krishna. So this is what I wanted to say. Okay, namaste, and thank you to everyone. I just want to add a little in addition. I'd like to say that the Bhagavad Gita says that after many, many births, one comes to know about me and surrender to the Lord. So when you surrender to the Lord, that becomes a final act. So you won't be any incarnated, you won't be incarnated again. So this particular thing, I used to think about this. So when Tukaram said that so there is a last birth, and after the last birth, you go to the Lord. So when you do your duty towards the Lord, you will gain a lot of peace. So always chant with your beads. Always chant Hare Krishna with your beads. And after that, you will attain your moksha. For example, we have a pig. So we know that we always treat the pig as a very dirty animal, but the pig itself actually likes to be in the dirt. So that is given by the Lord. So each and every living animal, insects, birds, everything has a soul. So when you focus on Lord Krishna, and later on it will be good. So I told you about the 4 stages: birth, sickness, old age, and death. So this cycle repeats. So when you focus and chant, So then you can go back to the Lord Krishna. So you can go back to heaven. So we should be inquisitive and learn more about the Lord. Thank you very much for everyone. I thank my brothers and my family, and I thank Amresh, our interpreter. Thank you to all. Chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So pray for protecting people against the coronavirus and hope everyone stays safe. Thank you to everyone. Also, you can close the session. I think Anup, I want to say something to my brother Anup. Okay, Anup, do you want to say something, in fact? Sir, we cannot hear you. I think.
Now it's unmuted.
Yeah. Okay, can you please hold on? Let me ask them to spotlight me so you can just. Yes, sir, you can start.
Yeah, thank you very much. This is the first session really I've attended of my younger brother, and I'm very happy and proud to be part of this session and seeing what all he's doing for his own community of deaf people, and now also adding on to other non-deaf people also, to see whatever he can share from what he has learned for the good of the deaf community and for the others also. So this is something which is really very remarkable and exemplary, and it's something which is as a result of his own grit and determination that he can do so many things which even normal people have not been able to achieve. And I speak for myself here that he has been able to achieve much more than what even I have been able to achieve in my life. And I should say hats off to you for that. Keep it up and continue to do good and make people happy. God bless you. That's all.
To my brother Anup, I really respect him a lot. When we were younger, he used to bring me to school each and every day, and I really love him a lot. He has helped me a lot, even finding me employment and taking me over there. So I really respect him a lot. And even my brother Arun, he's wherever I wanted to go, he used to. I wasn't so independent. I was always dependent on my brothers and sisters. Now I'm independent. I'm very happy about that. But when I was younger, so they used to bring me everywhere. So I really thank my family a lot. So I never was aware at that point of time how to be independent. And later on, when I learned about the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, so now I'm able to be independent, and I remember all my family and my brothers and to others also who have positively influenced me in my life, and my prayers and pranams to all of them. Okay, so let us now end the session. Thank you to everyone.